Introduction to Polymorphism in Java. Introduction to Polymorphism. Hello, everyone. We're going to look at an exciting concept in object-oriented programming called polymorphism. This term, polymorphism, comes from the Greek word poly. It means many, and morph meaning form. So in programming, polymorphism allows objects to be treated as instances of their parent class more than their actual derived class. It's a fundamental concept in enabling dynamic features in our programs. Types of polymorphism. So in Java, polymorphism manifests in two main types, static and dynamic. Static polymorphism, which is also known as compile time polymorphism, happens through something called method overloading, and dynamic polymorphism, on the other hand, occurs through method overriding, which we see in action at runtime. The key difference lies in when the form of the object is determined, either at compile time or runtime. The concept of inheritance. So before we look more into polymorphism, let's quickly review inheritance. So inheritance, what it does is it allows a class known as a derived class to inherit attributes and methods from another class called a base class. This concept is crucial because it sets the foundation for polymorphism, where methods defined in a base class can be overridden or overloaded in derived class. Static polymorphism method overloading. So let's talk about static polymorphism through method overloading. Here we can have multiple methods in a class with the same name but different parameters. So this is like having different versions of a method to perform a task that can vary slightly in its requirement. So as you can see in this example, we have a shape class, and we have two ways of calculating the area, and the method varies whether the shape is a circle or a rectangle. Dynamic polymorphism method overriding. So moving on to dynamic polymorphism, we're gonna talk about method overriding. So in this class, compared to static polymorphism, a subclass redefines a method of its superclass. So it allows us to use the, if you want to, you can invoke the superclass's version of the method by calling a super keyword, and this can be really useful when you want a subclass to implement a more specific behavior that's different from the one defined in the superclass. So you can see that animal class has sound method, and upon calling sound method, it prints animal makes a sound. We have subclass dog that overrides sound method, and upon calling this sound method, we have dog barks. The instance of keyword. So in Java, we often use the instance of keyword to check whether an object belongs to a particular class or not. This becomes pretty handy when we're dealing with polymorphic references. So by using instance of, we can ensure that we perform safe typecasting and execute certain code only if an object is an instance of a particular class. So we have this example, two classes. One is a vehicle, and one is a subclass of a vehicle, which is a car. And when we will construct new car and assign it to vehicle, and we can check whether this A is instance of car or instance of vehicle. Real world application of polymorphism. So polymorphism has practical applications in software development. It makes our code flexible and easier to extend. One example would be in a graphic user interface. Polymorphism allows us to handle different types of events from user interactions, like clicks on buttons or sliders, and using a unified event handling method. Example, so here is another example. This is a Java program that utilizes both it uses polymorphism. So let's kind of look at this code. We have printer class, and printer class has method called print. And upon calling print method, it's going to print a line saying printing document. And we have color printer class that is a subclass of printer class. And we have a same print method that is overriding the superclasses method. And when we call this method, it's gonna say it's printing in color. So we have office class, and office class has a main, and we are invoking new printer and new color printer, and we're calling print. And if you run this, you can see that my printer.print will print printing document, and my color printer.print will print printing in color due to method overriding. Conclusion. So to summarize, polymorphism allows objects to be treated as instances of their parent class. So they enable us to write more general and reusable code. And we looked at both static and dynamic polymorphism along with examples. So for those of you who are interested in learning more, I encourage you to look into Java references. That's all for this lecture. Thank you everyone for listening.